This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Ngala, and this morning we're going to be driving through the reserve, see what we can find, and welcome on board everyone to your African Safari Live. Yeah, my name is Dyke Koza, and Craig behind me on the camera. So this morning we're going to be driving through the reserve, see what we can find. And I'm not alone. On the other rotation, I've got Lauren and Tristan at Djuma, and then got Dean at Pinda, Steve at Prilet, and then Tswalu, we've got DEIRDRE. So welcome to your African Safari Live. Yeah, we're going to be driving this road and see what we can come up with in this beautiful morning. So we hope this morning is going to be really successful than last night. Last night was good, but I think this morning it's going to even be better. So we're hoping to find something more interesting than last night. As you can see, sunrise, not even a single cloud up in the sky. It's going to be a beautiful day in this African safari bush. So let's hope to find something really interesting this morning. We just heard from the other ranger that he had a leopard calling or rusting along this road. So we're just going to move into the area and try help them, see if we can find this leopard. It will be really nice to start the morning with the leopard, of which I haven't seen for a few days. Yeah, let's hope this leopard will come out on the road somewhere in front of us, which the other vehicle is helping us to check on the other side. At some stage, we're going to stop and switch off the vehicle, see if we can hear this leopard calling, because it sounded like it was somewhere in this direction. So that's why I'm moving in to this area and see if we can find this leopard. Maybe hear some impalas alarm calling. That would be a good sign that the leopard is somewhere around. As we're coming into this clearing, of which this is where the impalas will Yes, black widow spider. Bamboo is always nice because you can find something really interesting. You'll be driving around the corner and always, like I said, people talk about every minute being different, every day being different, but I talk about every minute. You can drive around the corner, maybe looking for a leopard, and always all of a sudden you find a lion or something else. So that's why I'm hoping that this leopard is rusting along this road. Yeah, let's take a look at the weather and then, yeah, so we're gonna carry on down this road and see if we can have any luck. I'm just checking now. Looks like there's leopard tracks on this road. As you can see, I'm looking on the ground. So this could be where the leopard was calling from. I'm just gonna look carefully here. Because it's a very beautiful weather, and then there's lots of hyena tracks on the road. I was so excited, thought it was a leopard track, but unfortunately it's a hyena. Maybe this leopard is somewhere here, because this hyena sometimes will follow these leopards hunting and then hoping that the leopard will catch something and they'll move in and take over whatever it is. Because I'd say 9 out of 10 times, if the leopard have a kill on the ground, they'll lose that to hyenas, because being alone, single animals, rather lose the kill than getting themselves in a fight, because they know once they're injured, they won't be able to hunt for themselves. So lots of hyena tracks in the area. I'm sure this leopard was trying to hunt at night, and these hyenas were following this leopard the whole night. Let's hope if he's got a kill, it's not on the ground, it's in a tree where the hyenas cannot climb, because hyenas can't climb trees. So that leopard kill will be much more safe. If we can find the leopard on the kill, it will be something really special, because you normally find leopards, but not with the kill up a tree. That's what people expect to see sometimes. Very, very beautiful in this beautiful light of the morning. It will be really nice if we can see one in the tree with the kill next to it. As you can see, there's some beautiful big trees around here along this riverbed. So if the hyenas are behind the leopard, if the leopards feel unsafe, they might go up one of these trees. That's why I keep looking up these trees every now and then, hoping to see a leopard sitting in the branch of one of these large trees. Yeah, maybe this leopard is somewhere here. I'm just gonna check on these clearings here, which normally they will be in park. Yeah, there's lots of other small animals that move around at night, like insects and the birds, like the thick knees, some of the bronzed-winged coursers. They're active during the night. The nightjars on the road, and then if the leopard has been walking at early evenings and then This type of birds will be moving through the night, and if you happen to see some of these insects that has been crawling over the leopard tracks, and you know the leopard tracks are not fresh. Otherwise, these roads have been driven last night. If the leopard tracks are on top of the vehicle tracks, we know they really fresh. They're not like late last night. And the dew, it's been a bit of a dew from last night, and you can see the dew has been removed, and then fresh sand under the leopard footprints, so you know that the leopard has taken the dew off the road, and then you know that's exactly fresh tracks.
Yeah, that's right. Heading east or back south on Big Bend. I'm turning around, checking towards Darwin and then onto the river west.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Rowan, another guide, he's checking the area with us. So we're just going to turn around because he's up ahead of us in the direction where we were heading. So we'll go back and check the other side if that leopard have called and moved through this area. So just want to check another road and see if the... Yeah, while we're trying to search and see if we can find this leopard, we'll go over to Zwalu.
Good morning and welcome to Tualu. And this is our update, in that the dogs are actually still here. So it looks like they slept the night in the region and still trying to get some more of the giraffe to hopefully take home to that female at the den. So you're with me, Deirdre, and on camera BK, and we're quite lucky we got the action already. We were hoping to see if the spotted hyena had come, and I didn't expect the dogs to still be here, so at least they are. Their tummies are certainly looking full. That definitely looks like they've done well. But a giraffe can be quite tough. The skin is quite tough, as you can see there. So, yeah, unfortunately I didn't even get a chance to let those sensitive viewers know that either turn away or turn off screen for a little bit. But this giraffe did die of natural causes and has provided for meat for all of these. And as fast as those dogs can eat bits of meat, they can get back to the den with the female and the pups. It just shows you how it's not an easy thing to eat, a giraffe. Oh, yes, definitely not for sensitive viewers. That's pretty much some of the stomach lining. There is a third dog somewhere around, but they haven't tucked in yet. So other than the belly area on a giraffe, the next sort of softest spot would be under the chin. The chin area and sort of behind the ears. I'm just going to go forward because there we go, BK. So the dog is using everything. It's using all its feet and its teeth to pull that stomach apart. And this one just there, sort of at the lip area. So that's how dogs manage to get their piece of meat off. They bite it and then they just pull backwards. And generally when they're in a pack and they've caught something small, that's how dogs dispatch their prey pretty quickly, by pulling it apart in pieces. So unfortunately they're not the most popular when it comes to their hunting techniques. What? Matriarch Wannabe is asking, what other predators do we expect on this carcass? So this is about our third or fourth time coming past this carcass, and originally the cheetahs found it. The two male cheetahs found it, and they were accompanied by a jackal, so we know that cheetah and jackal benefited from this. Then last night, by surprise, the wild dog pack, as well as a brown hyena, have been here, and at this stage only those four that we know of, but we are still expecting at some point the spotted hyena to arrive. This carcass is quite stinky now, after they ruptured the stomach last night and it's been in the sun for 2 days. It is definitely starting to give off more of a smell, which will then also attract the hyenas. And we did see vultures in the area yesterday circling, but they landed somewhere else, so I don't know if they found a carcass somewhere else that the vultures are on, but they would also then potentially, by coming past, start landing in the trees as well. Actually, we could even hear the tearing of that meat when that dog pulls from here where we sit. Just look at the effort. I would be very interested to see if the dogs go all the way to the den, feed the female. We think the den in a straight line is probably between 8 and 10 kilometers away. So it'll be very interesting to see if they go, feed the female, and then come back because this is free food, or they leave it totally and don't come back at all. I'd be very interested to see that. It's not typical for both dogs and cheetahs to be scavengers, but no one's going to turn down a free meal if there's no bigger predators here, if there's no lion or spotted hyena. For them it's an opportunity to get food, and they need that. And they will basically just eat as much as they can now, so that when they are totally full, they can head off to the den. And that's so we know the alpha female has dropped pups in a den about 2 weeks ago, but at this stage we still don't know the numbers. The pups are still underground. She just chose one single aardvark burrow, and it is her first litter as well. They're definitely feeding with a lot more confidence now that there isn't that brown hyena around. Last night they were sort of hesitant, and then they looked and checked the brown hyena, but we don't see him around at all. So we're going to just stand by here and see what happens with this dogs on the giraffe. We're going to send you across to Pridelands who want to say good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the dawn. Welcome to a nice chilly morning here in Eco Training Pridelands. What a beautiful day it is. What a beautiful commencement to the week. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're all well. My name is Steve, joined by Gat on camera, and as always, delighted and excited to have you with us. Please send any questions and comments you might have for us through here at Pridelands, as we'd love to hear from you. Now, is that the same giraffe carcass Deirdre had with a cheetah feeding on it, now wild dog are feeding on it? Isn't that just bizarre? Goes to show. Predators don't always do what the books tell them to do. So everybody, this is my last morning here at Eco Training. I'll be heading off this afternoon on my first inaugural men's concept trail, rewilding in the wilderness, which I'm very excited about. I've had lots of support. Thank you, everyone. Please do continue to follow and keep up to abreast with what's going on. Follow me on Instagram, FAULCONBRIDGE Steve. You see the monkey there, huh? Just on the little bank, that open bit on the right there, busy feeding. Oh, he's gone. It is gold. I've managed to find a couple little rays of sun here at Leopard Dam. Definitely my favorite place on Pridelands. We've got a really good signal here. It might be one of the reasons why it's my favorite place as well. So this morning we're just going to be doing a little bit of a walk around and see what we can see, and maybe sum up on a few activities and discussions we've been doing over the last weeks. Just stretching some legs and breathing. There's something very special about being out on foot. Something very special about being surrounded by the wilderness. Yes, indeed, the mist and the water is quite eerie. And it's a very clear day. It's probably going to warm up later, but the teeth of winter have finally bitten. Now I'm having doubts whether my sleeping bag that I recently purchased is as warm as I thought it was. The trail I'm going on will be backpacking, so sleeping under the stars. So the nights are going to be fresh and full of wonder.
If you love to watch Wild Earth, then we are inviting you to join our Explorers program. For a monthly subscription, you will have the opportunity to win fantastic Wild Earth expeditions. Join our guides for a chat around the fire, receive weekly highlights from our shows, and much more. All the money will go to keeping these live safaris on air, which in turn allows us to escape into nature every single day. Founded in 1973, the Endangered Wildlife Trust has consistently and effectively worked towards achieving our conservation legacy. Contribute to this legacy by visiting EWT's Get Wild eShop and purchase products with a purpose.
My name is Ross and I'm a field guide at and beyond Djuma Private Game Reserve. I love getting questions from guests on WildEarth because I love sharing and learning information about nature with new people, and it also makes me feel like you're all joining me in real life. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, go to our live safari page and submit your question below our live feed.
Guys, have a look at what we've got. This is better than my birthday. Look at that. This is the first time that I ever see cubs this small. This is so special. this has officially just become my best sighting of all times.
Tune into Wild Earth every single day. It's in your nature.
Hi, I'm Mike Anderson, and I come to you live every day from Eco Training Pridelands Conservancy in South Africa. The wild animal I think is most underrated. I think buffaloes are the most underrated. They're so tenacious and ferocious, and also very, very protective of each other, which I find incredible. You know, sometimes people think of the big five, they just think of lions and leopards and other big animals, but I think buffaloes are pretty underrated.
Catch up with the guides daily here on Wild Earth.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve, or at least one half of it, here on Wendy. Now, we are on quarantine. We do normally start on quarantine because it's a very good place to start, like the start of the alphabet, really. My name is Lauren. I do have info on camera, and the game drive has just started talking. Once again. Game Drive is wonderful at doing that. And there's dogs. I know Swallow are having a fantastic sighting with dogs eating a dead giraffe. Wow, that throws a lot of things up in the air. Lots of people say that wild dogs only eat fresh kills, but there you have it, opportunistic as always. But there's apparently also dogs on Djuma. That's exactly why I am on quarantine. Quarantine is a really good place for dogs. I think I have had most of my dog sightings on quarantine. And it's also good to just turn off our noisy engines and just listen for the whoo, whoo, whoo. They are very relaxed. Are relaxed. So quarantine is not where they come, but there's vehicles working on it.
You see them, they're lying under the tree there. So the dogs, we're just going to try and reposition at this point. The dogs are just snoozing under the tree there. You got them, BK? So everybody's stopped to eat. Oh, there's one dog at the carcass and the other two are snoozing under the tree. So just taking a nap. That's the two together. And the other one, you can just see, still trying to get into the stomach area. So we apologize there. We lost Djuma for a second. But good luck to Lauren to find the dogs. I know what it's like to try and find them when they're active and running and moving in the morning. We just happened to be lucky this morning that these ones decided to spend the night here. I actually expected them to potentially run back to the den last night, so the poor female on that side has been abandoned since yesterday morning. So she probably is wondering where the rest of her family is, but if they come back with a lot of food, she won't mind. So we've been amazed that between three predators, between cheetahs, wild dogs, and jackal, and a brown onion, actually 4 predators, they haven't managed to open much of this giraffe carcass other than sort of in the soft part of the belly. But the skin on a giraffe is well over 1 centimeter thick. So even earlier when that dog was trying to sort of chew at the leg, that's a solid piece. And obviously as the skin dries, it'll harden. So it'll be harder and harder for them to get in. But they are managing to get bits and pieces out. The wind has picked up quite a bit, so the dogs would be aware of other predators around. That's why it sort of keeps popping its head up and scanning, and they don't want to get caught unawares on a carcass this large by another predator, and obviously this carcass is also sending off quite a lot of smells. Oh, he really has got his head in there. He's filthy. They'll worry about the licking and the grooming and the cleaning later. Mohammed's asking the question, could this carcass have any diseases? Well, it died of natural causes, so we don't, unless we took a blood slide from it and checked for any of the diseases, we don't know. It could have, but yeah, it could have. But we don't know. It's not showing any signs of, so in certain areas, particularly in your drought season, so why we don't fear that this, for example, is anthrax, because anthrax tends to be towards the very, very end of a dry season, and also after quite a few drought years, you can have anthrax outbreaks, but then you look for certain signs on a carcass for anthrax outbreak, and that would be sort of bleeding out of the nose, the eyes, and any opening, and also sometimes sort of a twisted back neck. So if you went to that carcass and you saw that, then you would assume that there was a possibility of anthrax, and then you'd have more and more carcasses in that area that would potentially have anthrax. But that's definitely not. We don't have that. It's not the right time of the year. We've had really, really good rains, so we haven't had a good look at it because there's always been a predator on it, so we don't actually know. We can't see the teeth. That would be one of our ways to tell if this giraffe died of natural causes. You have a look at the teeth. If there's wear and tear on the teeth, that there's almost no grinding plates left, then that is one method or one reason that this one could have possibly died, is just old age. There is the possibility also for giraffe of a lightning strike, because they're tall and they're taller than anything else in this environment, but we hadn't had any lightning strikes. This one was standing in the middle of the day, and then by the afternoon it had died, so definitely not a lightning strike on this one. And a lightning strike actually, it's probably a little bit gruesome, but it literally cooks everything in the carcass, so it expands. It literally just swells and makes it very, very round, and you can see if something's been struck by lightning. So one dog's on the move, the other two are still static. So we'll see if these dogs move down to the waterhole. We're going to send you across in the meantime to Pinda, who wants to say hello. He's rolling around. He's probably trying to get all that rumen and content off, but also it's not necessarily a bad thing. The dogs do generally smell, and smell also hides or masks their scent if they wanted to go hunting for other prey. I don't think these ones are going to go hunting, but he definitely he's getting rid of an itch. He's like, sometimes that'll be like an impala midden or something that'll be there that'll make him please don't roll in that now. He's definitely leaving some scent behind. There we go. He's going to trot back to the rest. Elsa is asking the question, is it normal for wild dogs to scavenge? No, not really. Between wild dogs and cheetah, they're the two least likely of predators to scavenge. But when they find free food and there's no other predators here, why not? You know, they don't read the rule books. Just because it says they typically don't scavenge doesn't mean they can't get a free meal. sometimes it's also not recorded because there's almost too much competition. There's too many other predators in an area and that respond relatively quickly, so the dog doesn't even get a chance to scavenge because either the spotted hyena are there, or the vultures are there, or the lions have come in. So sometimes the dogs don't even get a chance. But I just find it very interesting that they're quite full and they haven't gone back to the female yet. But maybe, as I was saying to BK earlier, it's interesting that they're almost filling themselves. They're absorbing some of that meat for themselves, and then I'm sure that they'll fill their stomachs to take that back to the other female and the pups at the den. Maybe it's just because it's such a long way. So we'll send you across to Pinda now. They're ready to say hello.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to and beyond Pinda Private Game Reserve. My name is Dean, and behind the camera we've got Owen. Quite an exciting scene happening here. We were watching these lionesses just lying on the grass in front here, and you'll notice that they are stalking, especially that one deep in the grass there. What, 40 meters in front of it is a young wildebeest calf. It seems it still hasn't noticed these lionesses, so we're going to see what's going to happen now. The wind is blowing in favor of the lionesses, so chances are it's not going to smell these lionesses. Oh, the wildebeest every now and then darts across and runs. It seems very confused. I don't know, it's quite a young one. I don't know if it's looking for one of its parents. There's the lioness is now moving across. And every now and then that little wildebeest, it stops and looks at one of the lionesses, or it seems like it looks at one of the lionesses, but then doesn't run. It's amazing to see how these lionesses just kicked into that predator mode, and as soon as they noticed that young wildebeest, straight away stalked and went separate ways, straight into the longer grass. See how low she's got? Notice how her ears have slunk down like that. I don't know how much grass cover she's actually got between her and the wildebeest. I also don't want to reposition the vehicle just in case I startle either animal, so hopefully this position will be good enough. Oh, there you go, the wildebeest runs away again, but again only runs about 10 meters and stops. That lioness is only about 30-40 meters from it now. Still too far in my opinion to catch it. Need to get about at least 10, maybe 15 meters away to stand any chance. Yeah, wildebeest is running off now, away from the two lionesses. I don't think it actually spotted either of the lionesses. I think it was just feeling a bit uneasy. It's now running off to our right. Both the lionesses have stood up. They're still keeping an eye on it. It's been quite a action-packed last couple of days for these two lionesses. They've made a kill last night, not too far from here, and the day before they had another kill, both impalas. Looks like they've lost interest, and almost a third one now. So just to our right, there are 3 cubs. And I'm assuming now, or at least in the next couple of minutes, they'll join up with those 3 cubs at the bottom there, just behind us. Sure, exciting stuff. That was very close. But like I said, I think these lionesses will walk down past us, next to us, and join up with the cubs. If not, I'm sure they'll call the cubs to join them. They're just soaking up the sun. It's quite a cool night, so I'm sure they're appreciating the warm sun in the morning. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, they did have an impala. They killed an impala last night, about 2 kilometers from here. And then the day before that, they had another impala carcass. So it did seem like a bit of a half attempt, not with that wildebeest, but cats always being so opportunistic will go for anything they can. I think for now, we might turn around, see if we can get a view of those little cubs. But for now, you're going over to Tristan.
Well, hopefully you do, Dean. We are still scratching north for the dogs. We've got kind of 3 of us looking in the area, trying to find them. Seem like they've been running around all over the place, but nothing has come north yet, which is good. Means that they haven't crossed out. But with these dogs, they can be anywhere. The other morning, everyone was like, no, they're around this area, and we found them so far from where everyone thought they would be that I'm doing the big loops, playing the long game this morning. Anyway, my name is Tristan on camera. I've got David, and we initially weren't going to worry too much about dogs, but you know, since we bumped their tracks straight as we left camp, we thought it kind of got into it a little bit. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find them somewhere. If they're around quarantine, I don't think they would have gone too far. There's so many animals there that they definitely could have killed, and not just in the block. I don't expect them to have gone too far if they'd been hunting in that area. I'm pretty sure they would have been successful. So many animals on quarantine at the moment that you would expect them to come right. The thing is, though, is when dogs kill, generally it's quite a noisy affair. Between the hyenas and them, there's normally a little bit of noise that comes out of it. So if you just switch off, often you can hear them. And there's just no audio or sort of sounds of them from anywhere. So yeah, I don't know if maybe they have just kind of moved through, or if the kill that they've got is small enough that they're not making a huge mess or a huge amount of noise and fighting with one another. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Maybe they like the lucky dogs in Swahili and found themselves a giraffe. Imagine that. It'd be crazy. Amazing that giraffe kill, what that thing has brought to it. I mean, it's 3 of the most endangered carnivores in Africa are feeding off of that giraffe in the form of cheetahs, brown hyenas, and wild dogs. It's absolutely ridiculous that giraffe has brought those on, and I'm surprised that the dogs were there. It just goes to show you, a lot of people always say that wild dogs don't scavenge. that's a prime example that they do and will happily scavenge regularly. So everyone that thinks that wild dogs don't would be foolish. But I saw no tracks. I thought I saw one track of a dog coming down. They've got a very similar track to hyena from a distance, except that their track doesn't bend out as much. It's a lot straighter on the road. So you see this track here is hyena that's coming up. Theirs is straighter, and then they've got a slightly different kind of look about them. The young hyenas that we see at the moment, so, you know, Ribbon and June, their cubs, they have a size foot now that's very similar to a wild dog, particularly their behind foot, which is a little bit narrower. It's not as bulky as the front foot. And so they are registering like a dog does a little bit, but they have a much more kind of outturned, duck-footed movement. So when you see the tracks on the road, they kind of point towards the edge of the road, whereas dogs are straight and just kind of down the track itself. Now, someone who's already had success with dogs this morning is down in Swalu, so let's send you across to them.
There we go. Oh, it's still 3 snoozing dogs, but the wind is gusting quite strong at the moment. We're at least an 8-kilometre-an-hour wind. I suppose it's not really that strong. It just feels quite strong. So every now and again they lift their heads, look around. But it's definitely wild dog nap time now. They haven't done much since you left us last. You can see when an animal's cold, they literally curl up like that and sort of tuck their nose in. Then they're trying to stay out of the wind and shelter a little bit. And also the fact that the two are lying almost on top of each other is quite helpful. I know my ears get cold on days like this, and especially in the morning. I can just imagine how cold their ears get sticking out so much like that. What does surprise me is that there's no jackal around. I mean, the jackal were here the first day, and they haven't come back. And normally there is a sneaky one or two, even if the predators are sleeping. The jackal will try their luck. Oh, that's really cold. He just tucks his nose in a little bit more. So while ours continue to sleep, we're going to leave them here. We're going to move on and see what else we can find you. We're going to send you across to Pinda.
Welcome back, everyone, to and beyond Pinda Private Game Reserve. As you can see, this lioness is in full alert again. So myself and Owen were just discussing why that little calf would be by itself. And I was suggesting that maybe the mother was taken by a lion. Pretty much as I ended that sentence, appeared the mother, not too far from here. But then that also drew the attention of the two lionesses. Excuse the telephone pole there in the way. We are on one of the more main roads here. So I think that young wildebeest calf is now joined up with mom. And these lionesses are still focused on them. They do have this long grass that's playing in their advantage. Looks like the other one's going to join this one. I wonder if they're going to put much effort into this. wildebeest is staring straight at them, and they were lying, as you can see, in this open grassy area, so I'm pretty sure they've been spotted already. In the background you can hear that bearded woodpecker. So these two lionesses are part of the pride in the south. We sometimes call it the mountain pride, which is a bit of a loose pride. They come sort of break up, females break up and join up again. These two have been together for the last couple of weeks, and I mentioned earlier there's 3 cubs down to the bottom. We can't see them now. In actual fact, it looks like the one cub's come right up, not too far behind us now, just there behind the tree. So yeah, part of the pride in the south, the mountain pride. Yeah, I just heard the wildebeest give an alarm call. Sounds like a big cough. So I think that wildebeest has definitely spotted these 2 lions. And see this lion is just lifting her head, getting a good smell. The wind's coming across lovely. It's nice and cool. It's quite incredible to see. The lioness you can see is just in front of the other one, and it's completely disappeared in that grass. There's that wildebeest and calf, they've joined up. Yeah, the lionesses, it just goes to show how they can disappear in the grass like that. The lioness is lying in there.
Do you dream of an African holiday in unparalleled luxury? Where your days are spent in the company of wildlife and cooling off in your very own plunge pool? Well, this month's prize may be the one for you. Expertly camouflaged into the unspoiled environment of the world-famed Sabi Sand Game Reserve, it's hard not to fall in love with Simbambili. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer before the end of May, and you and a friend could be jetting off to this ultimate escape from reality. A luxurious safari and spa getaway wrapped up in one impressive package. WildEarth explorers, it's in your nature.
And I find getting out to a local royal park brings me so much closer to nature. I can leave my pain at home. And like watching WildEarth, I find it's the most amazing way to step out of life's difficulties and just breathe.
The chirping and fluttering of these Java finches at the feeder in our garden helps us start each day joyfully in connection with nature.
So this is our piece of nature that we've been enjoying. and has been keeping us sane during lockdown. This morning we have 8 oyster catches on our beach, which is a real treat. Hug a tree, Steve, just for you.
I love being a cam op for WildEarth. The animals coming right up close to you, especially like lions. Sometimes you get nervous, but you have to go with the flow. My favorite animal to film is the elephant because of how big it is. But when it's really up close to you, it's one animal that you would say, I really respect you.
Yeah, we've driven almost every single road that we could in this area where we had this leopard. Still no luck. We're just checking this last bit of this road, and then we've decided if we don't come across anything, we're gonna move out of the area and carry on with our plan for this morning. Drive around, see if we can find something interesting this morning. We're just gonna go check other parts of this reserve to see if we can find anything else, because it sounds like this leopard is calling in the block somewhere while she's on the move, because it's still cool enough for her to be moving, scent marking, like marking her territory, as well as trying to get some food if she didn't get anything. So let's hope we find her down this road, but otherwise, if we don't have any luck, we're gonna leave the area for the afternoon. So we know we've driven each and every single road. If we come back here this afternoon and find tracks on top of our vehicle tracks, we will know she came out onto the road after when we have left this area. So we're gonna start from there. Otherwise, we sort of know where to try and look for her this afternoon if we don't find anything else. Yeah, I was hoping that we see this leopard this morning, but it seems like she may be moving and calling in the block. Otherwise, she may have found a spot and lie down. So if she's lying down in the middle of this block here to my right, I don't think we'll be able to find her, because she won't be moving anymore unless by any chance she call again. But it seems like she stopped calling for the last 15-20 minutes. We stopped and listened, and there was nothing that we could hear from her. So this is possibly it for the day. But the leopards are, we're just gonna move out of this area. And yeah, like I said, a leopard will be nice, because even for me, I haven't seen a leopard for maybe 4 or 5 days. I was so excited when we heard her calling. I was hoping she's on the road somewhere, but unfortunately, she hasn't come out on any of these roads, not even a sign or single footprint from her. So that's why I'm saying she must be in the block. But let's hope this afternoon, or just by any luck, come across her walking down the road. It will be really nice. Yeah, Rowan, I'm on Little Kenya checking. Yeah, this is the last part of that road that I was hoping that we'll find her, but still no sign of her. And then I think we're gonna be moving out of this area and try check other parts of the reserve to see if we can find something interesting that we can look out to. Yeah, I was hoping to find her in this beautiful light of the morning. As you can see, the sun is coming a bit high up, and then it will be really nice in this light to see a leopard walking down the road. But unfortunately, it seems like she's possibly found this nice spot and lie down in the middle of this area here. So yeah, let's move out of this area and carry on And otherwise, this is not the only leopard. We might find another leopard while we're trying to find something else. So let's hope another leopard is on the road for us. You get excited sometimes looking, trying to find something. You start seeing things that you think is a leopard that you're looking for, but it's happened to be part of the tree. Yeah, let's go over to Pinda and see what the lions are doing. We're just gonna carry on down and see what we can.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to and beyond Pinda Private Game Reserve, where we're still with these two lionesses. Every time we're about to move, they get up and do something, so we decided to stick here for a little bit longer. There's the other lioness that was to the right. It's now lying in the grass, about 10 meters to the right of the other one. And that, yeah, the other lioness is somewhere in that grass. Even us that are right here with her are struggling to find her. We know she's still in there, in that darker green patch. There's the one. So every now and then they get up and move about another 2 meters forward, closer towards that wildebeest. There, that wildebeest and calf still are. They literally haven't moved an inch. I think what's happening is they have spotted, or she spotted one of the lionesses when they're in this open grass area. They've now lost, they can't see that lioness anymore. And I think that's why they're not moving. I'd rather stay in that same position and hopefully see those lions again, instead of moving and not knowing where they are. Still look in the same direction. I'm going to take a guess and say that these lions are actually waiting for that wildebeest to actually walk across. They also don't seem like they're in a rush. Matt says he's crossing fingers for a hunt. I'm with you on that one, Matt, 100%. Exciting stuff. It always is in the bush. There's always something happening. Never a dull moment. Oh, there she's up. And that wildebeest is now turned the other way and is now slowly running off in the other direction into that thicket. Oh, stopped again. Just excuse the pole there. We couldn't get in, struggling to get a better angle from here. There they run off. Oh, the lion is she still seems a little bit interested. And there's the other one now. this whole scene. Now, I'm just going to reverse a little bit. See if I can get those cubs. There they are. Just so there's one in the shade and there's one on the other side. And it was interesting to see how they were on their way to join up with these two lionesses, and it's almost as if they knew something was about to go down, and they paused and pretty much just lay down where they were standing. There should be three here. There's two on the right there in that shady area. There you can see the two. And there's one to the left of them. It was quite funny, a little bit earlier we were on that road just in the background there, and we had to move because one of the parents was doing a school run. Quite an incredible place we live in. Mike's asking, will male lions be involved in the cub's life at all? They will in the earlier stages, but then it's quite a loose association the older they get. So normally around about after 6-7 months, the male lions aren't around that much, and they'll come and go, especially and then from about 2.5, the male cubs will actually then leave the pride. But in the earlier stages, yeah, the males are a little bit involved. Actually, when they do make a kill, the male lions will get first pick, and the youngest cubs then are actually able to join the male lions in the feast, where the lionesses and older cubs will have to actually wait. Wondering how far that WildEarth actually ran off. But you'll notice now these lionesses don't seem too focused on that same area. They seem to have lost interest in at WildEarth and her calf. There's one of the cubs. Also just soaking up the sun a little bit and trying to warm up. There's 3 cubs here, all females, 3 young lionesses. I think for now what we're going to do is stick with these lions a little bit longer, see if they get up to anything. But for now, you're going to head over to Tristan, who's on a search for some wild dogs.
Well, while Dean's lions have gone sleepy, we've found absolutely nothing. We've been looking around for these dogs. no sign. There's a lion shouting somewhere close to quarantine here, so we'll keep an eye out for him. But I suspect with him making the noise that he is, the dogs are not anywhere near here. They're going to have backed up and moved. They don't like when lions shout nearby. Obviously, a lion is a major threat to a wild dog, so they typically, when they hear them, they just start trotting off in a different direction, try and just give themselves a bit of distance away from lions. But I'm surprised at how much this lion is roaring. It's shouting a lot this morning. I've heard it about 4 or 5 times already. And it's making a lot of noise. I think it's because there's another one, sounds like somewhere on Torchwood, which must be that Torchwood male from yesterday, I would expect. And then this maybe is the evoker. I don't know. So many lions around these days, difficult to know exactly who's who. But, you know, this is typical evoker area. He likes this kind of section. And so maybe he's hearing that Torchwood male and is just trying to sort of sort it out. There's going to be a lot of changes in the male lion dynamics of the Sabi Sands. I mean, we saw one already now with this Ottawa male. For those of you that didn't hear or weren't listening yesterday, the Ottawa male is believed to have been killed by the Birminghams and is no longer. He unfortunately seems like he succumbed to injuries from them, but they're not 100% sure if it was him, but they think so because he went charging off towards their roars, and unfortunately they found a carcass and they've matched the dentition. So what they would have done is they would have used a photograph of him with it yawning, with his mouth open, and then the skull that they found, or the carcass that they found, used the dentition of that and match it with the photographs. So canines versus all the other teeth, how they were. You can tell pretty quickly if it's the same line. So they're 99% sure that it's him. And it doesn't really seem to be any other viable options in that section, which is sad. He obviously was a beautiful, beautiful lion, but with the same things are going to start happening up this side. There's a lot of male lions around, and something's got to give at some point. We can't have the Kruger males, Torchwood male, S8 male, Evoker male, Plains Camp males, potentially the Stixon and Kahuma male, all running around without somebody clashing at some point. Just doesn't work that way. Male lions, unfortunately, when they come across each other, can be quite aggressive. Now, the last time I heard him roar sounded like somewhere here. I just want to quickly shoot down towards Twin Dams Road and then just switch off for a while and listen. Maybe he'll roar for us. He's been pretty constant in his roars. Sort of every 10-15 minutes he's been letting one out. So I'm hoping that he'll do it one more time now that we're a little closer, and we'll be able to find him here. Anyway, while I do that, let's send you across to Steve.
Welcome back to Pridelands, everyone, where we've made our way up onto a new area I haven't been into before. A nice dolerite intrusion once again, and with a beautiful view to the west of the Drakensberg mountain. Beautiful, splendid morning. You can see very far. The mountains are looking enormous today, and very exciting as well, because we found a tree I haven't been able to talk about for ages. They are all over the Mara, and this one is a slightly different design in a way, because, well, the tree itself looks identical to what it should look like, but the bark is lacking its normal, very white trunk. And here we have, to my right-hand side, the Boschia albitronca, the shepherd's tree. And Boschia is the Latin word for shepherd. And albitronca, the species name, due to the normal very white bark, which this one seems to not have. It might be that it's managed to tap into some roots, or should I say into some water, and so therefore its need to reflect the sun's rays and protect itself is kind of limited. Heavily grazed tree, the roots themselves are edible, can make them into a porridge. The fresh outer root bark can be fermented into a beer, and the flower buds can actually be pickled to make very nice capers for one's pizza. So a very nice tree, and so I have no doubt that the shepherds, because all across Africa this tree occurs, provides enormous amounts of shade in areas where there's hardly any. So it's a perfect spot to find predators, a perfect spot to sit under and and watch over your cattle and goats. So I've no doubt the shepherds across Africa back in the day didn't sit idle under these trees. They were quite busy making their porridge and fermenting their beer, which is, I suppose, what you do when you're busy out in the wilderness. Wonderful tree. Roots can also be used as infusion for eye inflammation and colds. And unripe fruit apparently has been used to treat epilepsy. So a marvelous tree, marvelous shade, very tasty. They age, they grow very beautiful, and they stand out on the African landscape. So we're super blessed to find you a boskia. Well, we're going to send you back over to Pinda and the lions.
Welcome back, everyone, to and beyond Djuma Private Game Reserve. And only a moment ago, these 3 young lionesses were stalking a couple of zebra, and just behind those zebra, there were still a couple of giraffe. Yeah, they were trying to stalk those zebra and giraffe. Actually, it was a warthog that came out also, and we thought, here we go. But no, the warthog darted off into the bush. The zebra are now heading in the opposite direction. They've seen these lions and they've decided to head the opposite way. You'll notice how the giraffe are all staring in our direction. Obviously staring at the lions that are here. And often when you're looking for things like leopards and lions, or predators in general, when you see giraffes staring like that, more than likely a sign that there's a predator there. They'll keep an eye on that predator for quite a while. You can see the zebra a little bit unrelaxed. Oh. Caitlin's asking, why will the giraffe not move off? Oh, look at these two playing. Caitlin, they won't move off because I'd rather keep an eye on the predator. You can imagine if you're watching a predator and then you lose sight of it, and you have no idea where it's gone. I'll just plonk down on top of her sisters. So it's just a matter of keeping an eye on it. Once they know where it is, they would obviously feel a bit better, as opposed to not knowing where they go. Once they feel the lions are far enough away, then they'll move off and carry on. And have a look at these 3. Cubs being so playful as usual. This sort of cuddling and play fighting, obviously just reaffirming and strengthening that bond. Oh, look at the claws on that young cub with that stick. Just strengthening that bond between them. These, obviously being lionesses, will stick together for life. These cubs are about just over a year now. Natalie's saying, what a cute scene. You're spot on with that, Natalie. It is very cute. Very, very cute. Oh! Got a little bit more serious there. I think these cubs will go join up with Mom now. Mom and her sister are now still in the grass. They're lying down, and I think all three will go join up with Mom now. There you can see Mom's head poking out there. Well, at least one of the lionesses. And there's the other two. You've really got to focus. You've got to zoom in to actually spot them. We really do live in an amazing country where you can spend hours with animals like this. Charles is asking, how big is the mountain pride? It consists of, I think it would be, so there's these two lionesses, and I think it's another two lionesses with the 3 cubs. So I think it's around 8 without the males. So around 8, 9 members, maybe with the males closer to 9. But again, the males is quite a loose association, so it's not a permanent thing. So I'd say permanent, around about 8 members. So we are still on quite a main road, so there's vehicles coming up and down. I'm just going to have to reposition us. There's a vehicle coming down now. Looks like the other cub is now joined up with the bit of a welcome wrestle.
Do you dream of traveling to a far-flung wilderness location where life continues as normal? A place where you can escape to nature and breathe. If you become a WildEarth explorer, then this could soon become a reality. Subscribe today and stand a chance to win regular travel prizes. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. The Mara Triangle is a jewel in the Kenyan conservation crown, and thanks to the dedication of the Mara Conservancy, it thrives as one of Earth's greatest national treasures.
We have been experiencing a reduction in the whale snails that we collect on a monthly basis, and this is basically attributed to our intense patrols.
Over the years, this courageous team of anti-poachers has reduced poaching to almost zero.
Mimi naitwa Stephen Olereso. Nimefanya kazi miaka 16 sasa, kuanzia mwaka 2002. Hao wanadamu ni wenye utua sana inaogofya ni wale wenye wanaenda kama ndovu, wanatumia kama bunduki. Sasa hiyo ndio huwa inakuanga hatari sana kwa sisi.
As a result of the global pandemic and the massive reduction in tourist revenue, the Mara Triangle is facing a financial crisis. They need your help if they are to continue their ability to protect this magical land.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me, and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
Look at this, the little one is up and about. Certainly hasn't had enough milk at this age. No amount of milk is enough. Oh, Corky. Too sweet. Oh, look at this. That is stunning.
Tune into WildEarth every single day. It's in your nature.
So we have a blue wildebeest bull in the distance. He was just busy finishing his territorial markings, snorting at us and telling us that it was his territory, and now he's run off. I can hear another one calling, so he might just actually be going towards a rival male. If I back up a bit, BK. I get it better there. Oh, if I do this, you can see there's a gemsbok in that gap at the back there. What's your 5 o'clock? There's one. I don't know if the wildebeest is shouting at the gemsbok. That would be totally unnecessary. Neither one worries about the other one, and the wildebeest is now moving off. So just two single bulls. We're heading through the dunes, the nice open clearings. We're going to head up and over and see what's in the next street. We're going to carry on into the dunes. We're going to send you to Lauren at a waterhole.
Quite amazing, really. We have a hippo in Twin Dams. Amazing. I don't know if I've ever seen a hippo in Twin Dams. But lo and behold, here we have it. The Egyptian goose is not very happy at this, or about this scenario. But how wonderful. Hippos do move water bodies, especially the young males. But here we go, Twin Dams, which is normally really quite void of all life. There's the hippo. And Bo, we've got the pied kingfisher as well. Let me just go forward And I'm going to throw you to the other side for the pied kingfisher. Oh, no, he's flying. Let's try and see if we can get them. I love pied kingfisher sightings. He was just there. They're normally quite striking black and white birds. Ah, he's hovering, he's hovering, he's hovering, he's going to hunt. He's out in the open. Whew. I wonder if he caught something. It's actually, oh, he caught something, he got a fish. It might not actually be the male, I'm not sure, I can't see his chest, but yeah, live hunt. No, it's a female. Oh. Thank you for turning around, beautiful. Would you look at that? She's killing it. Fish are vertebrates. They do have a spinal column. But wow. I'm sure that fish is long dead. Woo! My goodness, can you believe that? That's why I love pied kingfisher sightings. They really do deliver. Wasn't that just incredible? We just got it. Lisak's actually really easy. It's one of the easier sort of birds to identify. I'm not able to show you my phone, so if you just give me a moment, I'll visually show you what I'm talking about. But it's all to do with that sort of pattern on their chest, if you like. It's so easy to just go into my phone, but not the book. My fingers are still slightly numb. I really need to start wearing gloves in the morning. Ah, here we go, Paul. Okay. So this just visually shows you a little bit better than me talking through it. So if you look down here, this is the pied. You'll see that the female, she has a dicky bow tie. You see that? It looks like a sort of what you would wear with a tux. And then if you look at the male right here, he also has that sort of dicky bow tie, but then he has another band going across his chest. So he will sort of say he has that double breast band, and the female only has singular. So it's really, really easy to tell the difference, and this was definitely the female. You just need a good look at the chest, and then you'll be able to tell the difference. She's still sitting there. But they really do sort of deliver, pied kingfishers, especially in the morning. Sun is up, it's getting warmer slowly but surely, and she's hungry. Aren't we all? Cold makes us hungry. But that won't be enough. She'll hunt again for sure. Do you see those small little fish? She has to kill it. But once it's dead, she can swallow it down in one, which gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. But she has to kill it first, and that's what she was doing by sort of smashing it against a branch there. She's looking for more. You see that? Using that really acute eyesight to scan the water below. Broomshack, you're saying they are always so elegant. I know. I think it's to do with the black and white stark contrast and the sort of pattern. They're just really gorgeous birds. And this is a twin of twin dam. So we showed you the hippo in one. And then in the other half, on the other side, is a pied kingfisher. And this really is, I think, my favourite water body if I had to choose. It's very productive for birds. We regularly have Shasha here. Shasha seems to really enjoy it here. Just a lot happens around this small little pan, and it happens to be right on Gowrie Main as well. So that means any sort of individuals or groups of animals that are crossing from the south normally end up here. Now, I scratched around for the dogs and I scratched around, but the lions are calling. I think Tristan mentioned that to you. And as soon as dogs hear lions are off. I think we had a bit of a late start today, and I think we were just a bit too far behind the dogs. They move far and fast. And I think we missed that boat, shall we say. Also checked the hyena den on my search and it wasn't active. It's becoming the norm now. Just using my binos to see if I can scan for anything else around this water body. I think it's going to become more and more productive as winter hits in because it's still got a lot of water. It's small. There's no crocodiles or anything in the lying in wait. And normally the vegetation around a water body holds on to moisture a lot longer naturally. And it's good quality vegetation for many animals. Another one's just flown in. Do you see that, Impo? I wonder if that's a male. I can't see with my naked eye. I've got my glasses on. There we go. Yes, you see that double breast band in answer to your question? You've got the dicky bow tie that sits at the top, and then you've got the shirt line. That's a male. They're fast becoming my favourites. We had a brown hoodie here the other day as well. Lovely Welsh lady. I wish I could speak some of your lingo, but I cannot. But I can speak proper Scottish for you if you want, if I came from the West Coast, but I don't. Anyway, we will not do that. That's embarrassing. Okay, I'll quickly run through them. Impo, once again, I think it's a little bit easier to actually visually see them than for me just to rattle off some names for you. So here up the top we have the giant. I'll get Impo to focus right on these two. We do get the giants here. Not too often. They're definitely not the common ones to see. They're obviously black and white, but you can see that real chestnut russet brown colour on the chest. And down the bottom we've got the pied, but we've obviously already been through that. I'm going to turn the page. Then we have the woodland kingfisher. Now that's a migrant, sorry, a summer migrant, so the woodland has now disappeared. And the grey-headed and the mangrove, if we just go down here, we don't see them here. I've never seen a grey-headed or a mangrove kingfisher. The mangrove has a very, very limited distribution. I'm going to turn the page again. Aha! Up the top we have the brown-hooded, very common here, all year round resident, and we often see in the Mulwati. Gorgeous bird. Striped, I have actually seen the striped once with Mr. Hendry, so we do get them here, but again, not common. Then number 3, the pygmy. Oh, so small. We do get them here as well, not often to see. I found a dead one outside FC once when FC lived here. Number 4, half-collared. Again, don't get them here, not common. I've never seen one. Number 5, the malachite. I added the malachite to my bird list really not that long ago. But you can see the pygmy, the malachite, the half-collared, they all have similar colorations. And that is it. That is all the kingfishers. So we do get quite a sort of array of kingfishers here, if you're lucky enough to spot them. But I think the pied, definitely my favourite. I like black and white. They're not really colours, I guess they're shades, but I like them. other. Has he caught one? I'm not sure. It's very, very difficult to see now that the sun is up. I don't think so. And you can see it's on the weaver tree. Look at those old weaver nests, which is slightly sad. They're all finished now. They're disused. They'll either break apart in winter. Are these two having a domestic? I think they are. I don't think they're happy with one another. What's wrong, you two? Or relationships. They are said to be monogamous, so most likely this is a male and female pair. But clearly they're not having a great day. They woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And of course that water's cold now. Winter's here. There's no way that water body will be pleasant to dive in. So once they do dive in to catch the fish, they've got to kind of shake all that water off and warm up once again. Ah, what a lovely sighting. I think Impo and I are going to sit here and enjoy it just a few moments longer.
Do you dream of an African holiday in unparalleled luxury? Where your days are spent in the company of wildlife and cooling off in your very own plunge pool? Well, this month's prize may be the one for you. Expertly camouflaged into the unspoiled environment of the world-famed Sabi Sand Game Reserve, it's hard not to fall in love with Simbambili. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer before the end of May, and you and a friend could be jetting off to this ultimate escape from reality. A luxurious safari and spa getaway wrapped up in one impressive package. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. The Endangered Wildlife Trust fights at the forefront of conservation, across the vast karoo and sweeping grasslands, in remote pockets of forest, along road networks, across African skies, and in communities to conserve our wildlife and wild spaces. Help us to protect forever, together. Donate now at ewt.org.za.
It's a huge privilege to be in these incredible places with these amazing animals. I love filming lions. When they do get up and do something, it's always spectacular. When they are playing, are incredibly fun to watch, especially subalterns and cubs. I love being in the bush and working in these incredible places with these amazing animals. We want to bring it to you so that you can almost feel like you're right there and be able to experience it and enjoy it the way we are.
The croc is still holding another one there. It's holding from the hindquarters. I would really want the wildebeest cross. Is it trying? The croc is holding the tail. It's holding tight. Oh no. Goodness me. Lucky, lucky wildebeest. You have another day to live.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth Daily.
So welcome back to Tualu. Yesterday we got asked the question, how many meerkat groups do we have at Tualu? And I said I have absolutely no idea. And now we've come across and I've just found a totally new group that I've never seen before. So there's at least 9 of them just standing there in the sun, enjoying the early morning sun. And far enough away from us that they don't feel threatened by our presence. Normally if we're too close and they're not familiar with us, they go straight down the burrow. Thanks, BK. He's showing you how far away we are. Oh, there's number 10. but you can actually see the color from a long distance. So you're looking at all the little red mounds, and then you just see these little shapes shining in the sun. So that's how you can recognize the little meerkats on top of their mound in the sun in the early mornings. So everybody now in winter's got to warm up a little bit first before they go off foraging. Nobody can stand still. It's shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's not that easy to stand and balance on your tail sometimes. Should we call that the meerkat shuffle? We go. A little bit left, a little bit right. So, warmed up a little bit more, and now they're starting to do some housekeeping, maintenance, and they'll go off foraging soon. So just nice to see a totally different group. We are going to send you across to Lauren.
We just got lucky. Looking at the pied kingfisher. Birds are not happy. Something's going on. Ah, it's a leopard. I don't quite know who we have. Is it you, Mr. Shasha? It's very far away. This is a long-distance visual, I know, everyone, but this leopard is actually on Little Gowrie at a place that we call Baboon Pan. So obviously we can't traverse Little Gowrie, but, you know, we can put our front two tires on. That's fine. Is it Mr. Shasha? I will need your help. It's a young leopard, I think. Let me get my binos out. Here we go. Ah, it's good to see a leopard when you don't expect it. When you're following tracks, the satisfaction of finding a leopard is really incredible. But when you actually don't expect a leopard and you're not following tracks, I've been following dogs all morning, and then all of a sudden, leopard, is also a wonderful feeling. And that's also sometimes why you should stop by these water bodies and just listen to what's going on around you. Pay attention. Just spend 5 or so minutes there. Nothing might happen, but hey, something might happen. And Baboon Pan, it's just a small little pan. It's really nothing to write home about, but it's quite a productive area. Again, it's right on Gowrie Main. I've had Sabi here, Tandy here, Tlalamba here. Again, it's just a really productive area. FC will let me know if any IDs come through. I just can't see from here, I'm afraid. And it's so wonderful, you know, Tristan and I spent all day afternoon yesterday trying to look for Tlalamba and Mulwati, who we believe have split. And 2 vehicles are better than 1, you know, just work the area, cover more grounds. Where have you gone? And of course we didn't get lucky, but Tristan found another leopard, and it wasn't the leopard that you're expecting, and you just really have to love it when that happens. Ingwe! Sorry, I don't think... There's an Ingwe just here. I called it in, but I don't think it's working. Maybe you can call it in? Sorry, everyone. I'll get in trouble for sitting with an animal and not having called it in. Can you see him, Paul? Yeah, I think we've lost visual for now. And unfortunately, I can't go any further into this property or I'll get in trouble. Just right there, if you go to that bush, you'll see them. Yeah, I think we've lost visual for now. We'll maybe need to maneuver, shall we say, and help this other vehicle find them. And then hopefully... They heard me?
Yeah, they heard you. Someone that called you. Someone said it's...
Okay. Thank you. It's right there. You're going to the Ngala?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
When I come back, I'll find it.
Okay, enjoy. Where did you go? Okay, we will do our very, very best to try and relocate. Although we can't really do very much, but hopefully we'll get another view of this leopard and we're going to send you guys down to Deirdre.
So we've just got these two little birds on top of their nests here. Little white-browed sparrow weaver. They're generally quite chirpy chaps. Very, very talkative. Is it? Yeah, that's him. Unfortunately, he's on the wrong side of the sun to see his colours nicely, but little white, quite a thick white eyebrow just above the eye. And they're the ones that make these very, very messy grass nests, but not the ones in this tree. These are from another weaver. And there he goes. Oh, here's a little something else, BK. Looks like a little Kalahari scrub robin, but... Morning. We're quite close. That actually looks more like a flycatcher. Pretty nonetheless. Oh, and also gone. Yeah, that's definitely a flycatcher. That little short, sharp beak like that. Good for gleaning insects. And very cooperative. No. Hey, no. Now, when it flew like that and you see the rusty red on the tail, looks more like a scrub robin. So, confused me. Don't quote me on whether it's a flycatcher or a robin. It looked like a robin to start and looked like a robin to end, but looked like a flycatcher in the middle. So we can't get them right all the time. Oh, here's another. There's a little gathering of white-browed sparrow weavers that might be a little bit easier for BK to show you. The whole family. Very vocal, and they do live as a little family with one alpha pair, and then everybody else also helps with the raising of the chicks. Kelly is asking, what are their predators? So for birds, other birds, so raptors that specialize in catching birds, and then also snakes. Sometimes they're more vulnerable in the nesting phase when they've got eggs or chicks. There's something on the top of that one. Here's an ant-eating chat. right here. There we go. Little black bird when he flies off. Nice little white windows on the wings. Oh, incoming. A scimitar bull just came in and left. So, 4 birds, yeah. And I suppose on the nests, things like genet as well. If they're ground nesting birds, then jackal would be their predators. In the trees, definitely some snakes. So this is just a relatively plain looking bird, totally black, but then when it flies, beautiful little white wings. I've got to duck my head, it just landed in the road. So we will follow these birds in the winter season in a few more weeks when pangolin and aardvark go out foraging in the early day. In the afternoon, we just look for flocks of these little ant-eating chats as well as starlings and hornbills. And when there's lots of activity in one area with all 3 species of birds, there's very likely an aardvark or a pangolin that are active in that area, and they're utilizing the fact that the aardvark or the pangolin have dug up either a termite mound or an ant mound, and then there's free food for them afterwards. Especially because a lot of them will be underground, so the digging capabilities of both the aardvark and the pangolin can bring ants to the surface. Lots of little birds around this morning. Do you think he'll stay? No, he won't. There was a dove on top of that one. So a few more weeks, and hopefully we'll be able to show you some pangolin and aardvark. There's an owl in this tree here, BK. I'm going to go backwards. You see him? I just see the shape. Dead giveaway. Yeah. Okay, Jerome is asking the question, do the pangolin and the aardvark stay in the mountains? So, pangolin do feed on the termite mounds in the mountains, but not really the aardvark. We found an owl. Literally drove past and saw this odd shape with the ear tufts up. So it looks like a spotted eagle owl from this distance. But he's right here, he's in a bosque here, he's just hiding. I'm just trying to give BK, I don't know if that's, I think that is going to be the best angle you've got, BK, but you can sort of see through the leaves, he's staring directly at us. Beautiful, there we go. Please don't fly away. Yep, so those little ear tufts, sometimes a giveaway. They're supposed to break up their outline so that they look like a tree, but for us it's a little bit easier to distinguish that shape. A nice spotted eagle owl. He's trying to take a nap. Hopefully we don't give away his presence to any of the other birds, otherwise they're going to mob him and chase him out of his nice little shady spot. So most of the owls will rest up in the day and then be active at dawn and dusk. They can fly at this time, it's not a problem, they can move, but they're not necessarily hunting at this stage. Most of their prey is rodents that'll come out at night. But look at how well camouflaged he is. I mean, if he didn't move, you wouldn't see that he was sitting in the tree there. I say he, it's an it. We can't tell the difference between them unless you've got more than one in the tree and you've got a size difference. Everyone feels so lucky to see the owl during the day. So do I. It's been a little bit of a bird road, this. We literally just started with birds, and then the biggest one of the lot is right here in the tree. And he's not far off the ground either. He's probably only about, well, no more than 2 meters off the ground. But very, very alert. Well aware that we're here. I suppose you can't miss a large Land Rover right on your doorstep. That amazing ability to rotate their head almost 270 degrees over almost both shoulders to see in 2 different directions. So those little, what's called ear tufts. So those little ear tufts are actually just feathers. The ears are literally holes hidden behind the feathers. Nathan is asking the question, is this the biggest owl we get at Tswalu? And no, it's not. We also get the Verreaux's eagle owl, which is up to about 65 centimeters in height. So is quite a bit larger than the spotted eagle owl. And that's the one with the nice little pink eyes. So we've got quite a lot of owl species actually. It's in size, if I think correctly, it would be the Verreaux's eagle owl, then the spotted eagle owl, then the barn owl, and then we go down to the white-faced owl and the pearl-spotted owlet. That's pretty much our owl species for here. So right from 65 centimeters to about 12 centimeters. The sun shining through those ear-tuft feathers. Very, very pretty. So it just shows you how close he is. I want to try and start the car slowly and try and sneak past. I don't want to disturb him. So we're going to send you, we're going to send you across to Dyke. We've managed to leave him.
Yeah, so we're busy checking this area. Earlier on, further behind us, we saw tracks of that pride we saw last night moving south, which is the direction where we're heading, but we haven't come across anything from them. I think they might be moving south parallel to us in the block here, so we're just heading further south to check another road ahead of us to see if they're crossing there. Otherwise, what they killed last night was an impala, which was not enough for all of them. They may have hunted right away. As it starts getting warming up now, we're just hoping, because we're keeping an eye up in the sky. As you can see, it's a beautiful day today. Not even a single cloud, excuse me, up in the sky. So we're hoping to see some vultures going down in this area, of which that could be where the lions will be, maybe feeding on something else, and hope this time they've killed something a little bit bigger than that impala they had last night that will feed them all. So if we happen to see vultures, and then we're going to go investigate on what these vultures are after, because vultures wait for the heat of the day, and then they can have enough thermal to sort of like fly up and start looking for food. And then, yeah, if we happen to see a tawny eagle, maybe a bateleur, that will be a very good sign that there's definitely a carcass when you see these two birds of prey together with vultures. Yeah, we'll keep searching in this area, and while we're busy trying to find these lions, we'll go over to Lauren.
Okay, everyone, you've got to really tame. There's Tandy and a lion. There's a leopard and a lion. Is it Tandy? She sees him. He's about 20 meters away from her. Oh my goodness. Can you see the lion, Impo? Show everyone where the lion is. Yeah, I'm going to go forward, everyone. Get ready for this. She's gone up a tree. She's gone up a tree. She's up that small tree, and he's about to walk to the bottom of it. Tandy's right above him. I think it's Tandy, everyone. He's walking away. He doesn't seem fussed. They were about 20 meters apart, everyone. I cannot believe it. Trust us to be the time my monitor just breaks, so I can't see what you guys see, but let's see. There's another vehicle there, but that's okay. He's gone flat. She's still up the tree. Okay, so that tree behind is where she is. I actually can't see her at all. I don't know if this is it. I don't know who this lion is. Again, come on, monitor, don't break on me right now. You see her tail. You see her up the tree, Impo. Okay. She's perched, literally precariously on the branch. Look at that tail. She's not happy. He's 5 meters in front of her, if that. He's looking up. He knows she's there. My goodness. Okay, Jared, my monitor has decided to break, which is wonderful. So if anything happens on the screen that I'm not mentioning, do let me know. Jared's on it. Jared's on it. Look at that tail. Look at him. What what is she going to do? He does not seem interested in her whatsoever. However, she's so much smaller than him. She's a female, remember. I think it's Tandy. Would it help if I go back a bit, Impo? Are you quite happy?
No, it's fine.
You're happy? Impo's happy. So that was Langa we had earlier at Baboon Pan, but we completely lost visual and we can't traverse Little Gowrie, so I can't sort of... She's moving, she's moving. He knows she's there. My goodness. This is very tense. I've just arrived on the scene, so I don't really know who the leopardess is. I'm guessing Tandy, but if any of you got a good look, please don't let me know. Please do let me know, sorry. Jerome, I would think so. I would absolutely think so. Leopards are fast, they're nimble, she's small. I think if she just jumped from where she is right now, she's not very high. She must be about, 3 meters off the ground? If that. If she jumped down and ran, I don't even think he would try. And he knows she's there. He can smell her. And he can also hear her rustling about in the sort of tree behind him. But she's deciding not to. She's staying up that tree. And what you've got to remember is, even though these two species don't interact with one another, they're completely separate species. They're familiar with each other. They're aware of one another. Lions and leopards live sympatrically across the board for about 90% of their habitat. They are completely familiar with one another, and male lions really don't have to worry about female leopards, but female leopards have to worry about male lions. Oh, he's gorgeous. I wonder how long she's going to stay up this tree for. But apparently they've been staring at each other from about 20 meters, and we just arrived on the scene, and that's obviously when she decided to get up. He's actually positioned in the shade of a vehicle. So if that vehicle moves, it's going to affect his shade. Which means he may even move. I can just see her spots on her leg. I don't know why she didn't run. Her instincts kicked in. We were talking about instincts last night, especially maternal instincts, but you have all sorts of instincts, and they kicked in and they told her it's time to run up the tree, go up a tree. They're arboreal after all. Lions can climb trees, so we discovered that yesterday when Shasha's kill got stolen. But they're nowhere near as elegant at it as leopards are. Stacey, I really don't. I really, really don't. He's watching the monarchs. He's watching the African monarchs. He's moving. But no one answered your question. I don't think he's waiting for her. I don't think he's going to attack her. I think they just happen to be in the same area at the same time. She's obviously scared. She's up that tree. He's moving north now. He's moving away. You can just see, can you see her spots on her leg, Impo? You can see her. I think I'm going to stay here and watch her. He's mobile north, so it's now about to split into 2 sightings, I would imagine. But I think I want to stay and watch what Tandy does. I mean, it's obviously not the best visual of her right now, but at some point, she's going to come down this tree. That can't be comfortable. And she's moving now a little bit. Oh my goodness, heart-stopping moments here on Chitwa Chitwa. He's not completely gone. He's now changed his direction to come south again. What is he doing? He's looking for his fellow cats. He just found the wrong species. I think this is Tandy, but I could be wrong, everyone. I'm willing to be wrong. Jennifer, you're saying, phew, that was tense. I know. We just arrived on the scene. I warned Jared. I said, Jared, I think we're about to have an incredible sighting. And as soon as we got here, she obviously jumped up and went for the tree. It's all about timing. Imagine if you were to drive past right now. Would you see her in that tree? I don't know if you would. You wouldn't expect a leopard to be in that tree either. This is an emergency tree, a backup tree. This is not the happy, sturdy marulas that they normally perk their bottoms on, really. He's there. He's still sniffing around. My heart is also in my mouth. We actually came here to look for Shasha, not anticipating in any way, shape or form that we would come across this scenario. And this is what I mean. Leopards and lions, they do live sympatrically. Their habitats, their home ranges, their territories overlap. But it doesn't matter. Lions don't care if their territories overlap a male leopard's or a male leopard's overlap a pride. It really doesn't matter. That's not who they call for. That's not who they scent mark for. But they, of course, are aware of one another's presence. And a big male lion like that could absolutely kill Tandy, but he's not. He's not looking for Tandy. But if push came to shove, he is a lot bigger than her by a long shot. You can see her breathing really heavily. She's panting away. think now that other vehicle, should we try and reverse and see if we can get any better view of Tandy? Yeah, we can. Maybe not her face, she's staring at the line, but at least we can see a little bit more of her. There you go, Impo. Work your magic. That was a close call. I don't think she has a kill, as far as I know. She was just on Djuma Open, and he happened to be on Djuma Open as well. I imagine at some point she's going to jump down and just run in the complete opposite direction from him. All breathe the sigh of relief, as Jennifer said. Phew, I think we can. She's not moving yet. She knows he's still there. He's still in the area. Yes, that was very tense. I'm so glad we managed to capture it. And there's something about the bush, it's all to do with timing as well. Because the moment now, imagine if we had just arrived on the scene, there's just a leopard up a tree. But just, 3 minutes earlier, we had a male lion underneath that tree. It's all about timing. And we would have never have seen Langa if we just were not there at the right time. She literally just popped up and then went back down again. And sadly, we were not able to get any closer. I think it's Tandy, but I'd really like to see her face. Wow, what a morning looking for dog singing. It never goes out to plan out here. You're on the trail of tracks and then you find something else or you hear something else and you move and you go the opposite way and it really goes to plan. Oh my goodness, it is Tandy. I don't know who confirmed. Oh, James Richard, thank you. It's Tandy. I thought so. But I saw her when you saw her, and it was a split second, so well done, James. It's our queen, Miss Tandy. He's there, Impo, down there, you see in the background. He's pacing back and forth, back and forth. He's not looking for her, he knows she's up the tree. I don't know what he's looking for. He keeps going north and then south and then north and then south, changing his direction. But he's still in the vicinity, and that's why she's not coming down from the tree. She's actually barely moved a muscle, to be honest. Her eyesight's far sharper than ours. Her sense of smell is way better than ours, or mine at least. He knows exactly where he is. I'm definitely not a leopard, nor have the elegance, but I think Candy should come down and run. This boy's not leaving. He's moving again. He's coming closer. I know that I think it's the Inkahumas have got a kill on a net. They've made a kill. I don't know what the bamba is. And a net is just south of Chitwa, so there's a lot of predator activity around this one area. She's turning around very, very delicately on this tree so she can face him. He's changed his direction again. He's gone north again. I don't know what he's looking for. Okay, we're gonna sit tight here. If anything changes, you'll be right back with us.
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth Explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. For many years, WildEarth has taken viewers from around the world to the Mara Triangle, a place of majestic beauty and abundant wildlife. But it wasn't always like this. Before 2001, it was infested with poachers. Illegal harvesting and hunting was rife. Now the situation couldn't be more different. The hard work and dedication of the Mara Conservancy has revolutionized this magical land. But now, the loss of revenue from tourism has created a grave crisis. The Mara Conservancy needs help if they are to continue protecting the reserve and supporting the local communities whose livelihood depend on its survival.
My name is Steve, and one of my favorite things at WildEarth is getting questions from you. The type of questions that I really like are those ones that really help us to unpack and understand and really integrate the ecological knowledge and fully appreciate the importance that animals such as these Cape buffalo bring to the ecosystem. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, you're going to have to register on the website. But once registered, just head on over to the live safari page and enter your question under the live feed. Hello, Mama. Just checking us out, everybody. There's no aggression here. Very relaxed. A herd of elephants moving around your car like that is truly, truly magical.
Tune into WildEarth every single day. It's in your nature.
I think he's gone. He's completely disappeared from my view. She does not look comfortable at all. But she's still not coming down. He could just be behind that termite mound. But I don't want to move the vehicle. I want to see her come down the tree and escape to safety. There's no way he couldn't have known she was there. She dived up the tree in front of his face. So he's looking for something else. And we're almost exactly in the same area as we were yesterday with the tortured young male that stole Shasha's cow. This all happened right here. This is why I love Chitwa. Chitwa, I'm advertising you right here. You're the best. She's not going to come down until she knows it's completely safe. I remember when Tandy had a kill in a small apple leaf just off Philemon's Dip. And the lioness ran and completely chased her out of it. And she ran to the vehicle for protection. She tried to get under the vehicle. And then she decided this is also not a good idea and ran off. But for this reason, she's deciding to stay up the tree. FC, did you manage to get any IDs on the male lion? Nothing so far. Okay, lion people. Who was that male lion? Or who is that male lion? Because I have a funny feeling he's just behind that termite mound. And when you see a female leopard, yes, they're very powerful, but they're dainty, they're petite, they're small, especially Tandy. She's very petite and slim. Very small little feline. And it's only when you see them next to a male leopard that you realize the remarkable difference is very, very different. Not the young boys, I'm talking the sort of dominant boys like Mulwati, Tungana, even Hukumuri back in the day. And then when you see a leopardess next to a male lion, it's not even comparable. They're quadruple the size. Oh, many of you are saying dark mane and Voka. How interesting. I really couldn't say. My heart was in my mouth trying to keep my eye on the situation. How interesting. We are on Chitwa. Tandy's moving. I wonder how grumpy Tandy is right now. Okay, we're relaxing now. We're not coming down, but we're going to chillax. It's amazing how much they blend into the tree. When we look at that coat, we look at the rosettes and the gorgeous palette of colours and how they all complement each other. I mean, it's really striking. Some of us wear leopard print, some of us have leopard print bedding. It's lovely, it's beautiful. But when you actually look at it in the tree, especially with Shasha the other day, they blend in remarkably well. Really, really well. I mean, now she's obvious. You can see her paws and her tail. But when she first jumped up that tree, she was not obvious at all. She was completely hidden. Tandy's a survivor, an older leopardess. She's been through a lot, had many litters, she's lost some, she's raised some fine offspring, she really has. She's a survivor. In her time here, she knows exactly what threats male lions pose, and female lions, and male leopards, and other female leopards. She knows exactly how she's got to navigate this landscape. Tandy impresses me no end, she really does. And even when you see her interactions with Mareeb, she's trying to make him a strong, independent boy. She's trying to teach him to be on his own and not to be too dependent on her. We had some lovely conversations at the fireside chat last night about Mother's Day and maternal instincts and protectiveness, and also lessons. A mother has to teach her son, so she does snarl at him a lot, but she's teaching him, don't be too dependent on me, young one. You've got to go out there and be on your own. Okay, I think we can all breathe a sigh of relief. I think the lion has headed north. We're going to stay here with Tandy, and let's send you over to the leopard whisperer himself to see what he thinks of this sighting.
Well, it's always good. We've also managed to find spots of our own. It's not very good view, but Kara has not moved 1 centimeter since I saw her yesterday evening, which puzzles me greatly. She is lying in the exact same spot. I didn't think to even come here this morning because I was like, nah, she won't be there. But yet she is, which makes me think that maybe she's got a kill here somewhere. She really hasn't moved at all. So normally when a leopard doesn't move overnight and has stayed in a very similar area, it's because there is a carcass close by. So I don't know if in one of these little trees or in this thicket somewhere she's stashed something and the hyenas just didn't find her. With the wild dogs being around, I think the hyenas would have taken a lot of the attention away from her. But that's the only possible explanation for a cat to sit the entire night in the exact same spot that you left them the day before. It's not common to see that kind of behavior at all. So I'm surprised that she's but excited that she's here. It's always nice to spend time with leopards, and I'm glad little Tandy managed to get out of there. I didn't think she'd be in too much trouble at 14 years old. That's not the first time she's been chased up a tree by a lion. She's pretty good at being able to figure it out and know what to do and find the right kind of branches to sit on to keep that lion at bay. But I'm just trying to think now. There's no big trees here that I can see anything in. Like I say, maybe she's just stashed on the ground somewhere, and she's just kind of close to where it is. That bush in front of her could very well be where the carcass is. There's like a little bush willow thicket, and maybe she shoved something in there, and that's why she's lying in the spot that she's lying. I suspect that is the case. I mean, yesterday when I saw her, she didn't move. She was lying on the mound, and then she just came around the mound and lay down where she kind of is now. But she didn't look like she was injured or anything like that, so a lot of you might think maybe she's because she's hurt. She doesn't look like she's injured. So maybe it tells me that she has just stashed this kill somewhere where we just can't see it. It's something small, like a little dico or something that's just hanging in an odd way that you just don't know it's there. It doesn't look like she's in any hurry to go anywhere this morning either. If she's still here this afternoon, then we know for sure that there is a kill. I'll check nicely now before I leave this morning in any of the trees that I think possibly house one, and see. But she's going to have to move at some point today because the shade's not going to last much longer around there as the sun moves around. And like I say, if she's still here this afternoon, then we know for sure that there's something in this area. Wouldn't it be crazy if she'd somehow mated and had cubs in the Djuma? I know that's not the case, but I mean, it would be a crazy story if she did. We've seen her too much lately, and she hasn't been around enough to even indicate cubs, but it would be a crazy thing if we didn't even know. Shame, girl, have you had a long night that you've just stayed in the exact same spot? She's basically, the only thing she's done is turned. So her tail is where her head was last night, and her head is where her tail was. And other than that, it's exactly the same situation, which
perplexes me. She must have had a fairly busy night because the dogs ran past here last night. There was hyena activity following those dogs. There's been lots of lions roaring. It doesn't look like that. I'm trying to see her stomach as well to see how that looks to me. If that's full. Because, you know, when they're on a kill, then their tummy is quite round. It doesn't look full. Or maybe she just had a lazy Sunday and she's only going to start getting going on a late Monday morning. I don't know. Grace, I don't think so. I mean, she looked fine yesterday. She's alert. It's not like she was looking like she's ill or anything like that. I mean, a kill makes the most sense to me. You know, I don't think we need to worry about her being ill just yet. And as I say, yesterday I did see her move. I saw her walk, so she was fine. She didn't show any discernible limp or anything yesterday, and it's not like she's drooling or she's kind of lethargic. You know, she's very responsive when you move. Her head is very kind of twitchy and mobile, and ears are moving. I think she's just got a kill somewhere. We just haven't seen it. That's what my gut feel tells me. There's a few very dense, very thick trees around that could easily house something without you knowing about it, particularly if it's not hoisted and it's just at the base of it. So, you know, I'm not too stressed about her at this stage. We'll obviously just keep an eye on her this morning now for the rest of the drive, and then this afternoon we'll come back in this section just to check on her and see if she's okay. I suspect that she'll be fine, though. I'm trying to just see if I can spot anything with binos around her in terms of food, but there's nothing that I can really see. It's so funny because as we were driving in, I said to David, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's not here, but let's just check, you never know. And I was like, oh no, she's not there where I left her, and then we just drove on a bit, and I'm like, oh, actually, wait, she is there. Crazy. But yeah, I don't think she'll be ill. I would be surprised if that's the case. It's definitely getting quite warm now, though. So maybe when the sun starts to hit her, she'll move a little bit, although I don't think that will be in time for our morning drive. I think we're going to find... Sorry, my girl, I know my jacket makes noise, but I'm absolutely dying here of heat. I'm kind of parked in the sun, so getting cooked a little bit. Needed to just take the jacket off for now. Beverly, there is, as I was saying last night, this area where we're in now is mostly Shadulu, but that's her mom, so I suppose there'll be a bit of grace from that. But yeah, Shadulu, Mulawati, I mean, I suppose Tavangumi could come through here. Sabui sometimes comes up this far. Yeah, that's the kind of leopards that move around in this section. So she's not got to worry too much about the likes of Kalamba or, you know, Sabui. I mean, every now and then maybe Sabui will be up here, but it's very seldom. This is mostly her mother that walks around here. And now her, for some reason. That's just to sit and chill though with her. I've seen Akara a lot this last month. She's been around everywhere. It's nice that she's kind of settling on Djuma a lot more. Her mum has become far more absent, and maybe that's what's happening. His mum is just giving a little bit of territory off. Although, in saying that, we had Shadulu right here a few days ago, so maybe not. Anyway, we'll sit with her, like I say, for the remainder of the drive. Let's see what she gets up to. I don't think she's going to get up to much. In the meantime, though, let's send you across to Lauren.
Ah, well done, Tristy. Another leopard to add to the morning. That's 3, and there's actually another ingwe, as they call them, somewhere near us, but I think we have seen more than enough today, and I do just want to stay a little bit longer than with Tandy. She's definitely relaxed now, but that was tense, and really the male lion was not interested in her whatsoever. But she saw him long. I've just spoke to a few other vehicles before we arrived. She saw him long before he saw her. And she knew he was there, and she knew she'll be aware of her surroundings, what trees are around her, what escape routes are around her. And of course, going back to that, they call it the predator hierarchy, but I often find hierarchy, I don't feel that's the right word. Yes, lions are the apex predators, and apex predator is a term that refers to a predator that doesn't have any other predators. So nothing sort of kills them. Same with sharks in the ocean. It's very similar. And they're said to control the population from top down. But all the predators fit into the environment in a different way, and it goes the same for oceanic predators and also aerial predators in the terms of your raptors. They can't all be the same. If they are all the same and they all have the same unique superpowers, as I like to call them, then they couldn't all survive and thrive out here. There would be far too much competition. And that's why all our predators out here, although it's called a hierarchy, I like to think of it more as a big pie, vegetable pie, naturally. But just think of a big pie with all these slices, and they all just fit in their own way. And Tandy used her superpower today, which is, of course, climb a tree, get out. And yes, the lion could have technically have jumped after her, but she would have had the advantage. She's nimble, she's light, she's quick and flexible. She's used to spending time in trees, and therefore she would have just jumped out and jumped up a much higher tree. Lions are built for power, strength, muscle. So they can get up a tree, absolutely, but they're not very agile, and they would exhaust themselves very, very quickly. Imagine pulling that body weight up using only your claws and your shoulder blades. That's a remarkable amount of power right there. Lions also have strength in numbers. Leopards are solitary. Each have unique biological features, physiological features, and behavior and social features that allow that particular species to survive and thrive. Even the battalier, a great example. We spend a lot of time with battaliers here, especially the little chick. And they've got unique specializations to avoid competing with all the other raptors. Sorry, I got a bit thrown off there. There's another vehicle pulled off, and they're staring at something behind the termite mound. He's still here. That male lion is still there. He's not left. He's probably just gone lala, as they call it. Lala Banzi, Zulu for sleeping. Yeah, that's why she's not coming down. Okay, we're going to sit here with Miss Tandy for as long as we can, and hopefully at some point she's going to decide to come down the tree.
Do you dream of an African holiday in unparalleled luxury? Where your days are spent in the company of wildlife and cooling off in your very own plunge pool? Well, this month's prize may be the one for you. Expertly camouflaged into the unspoiled environment of the world-famed Sabi Sand Game Reserve, it's hard not to fall in love with Simbambili. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer before the end of May, and you and a friend could be jetting off to this ultimate escape from reality. A luxurious safari and spa getaway wrapped up in one impressive package. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
The reason why we see that wildebeest by himself is because he's a male, or a bull, as we typically would call him. And what he does is that he marks and defends an area. Essentially, he is looking for the ultimate piece of land or prime property. Needs to have good grazing, needs to have a water source close by. And not too far away from here, there's a sickle bush thicket that would provide just enough shelter from the wind and the rain.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at and beyond Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through and beyond Ngala on WildEarth. Send me live questions through the WildEarth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
Something very, very interesting. I didn't plan this, but this is a scene rarely seen. This is what we call a journey of giraffe. So beautiful.
Tune into WildEarth every single day. It's in your nature.
Well, I've got a slightly better view, I think, of her. She's still in a little shady spot there. She moved slightly. But it seems like she's kind of found herself another little area. She's kind of turned and just laying down again. I can't see anything. I mean, I've scanned with binos, but I can't see anything without being clattering around close to her. Which she won't allow us to do. She'll just move and we'll basically destroy any trust that she has in us by doing so. We're just going to have to be patient and wait and see. And if this afternoon she's still here, like I said, then, hopefully she wastes something or we see some sort of sign of a kill. And if she doesn't, and she's still here tomorrow morning and there's still no sign of a kill, well, then we can start to think about maybe possible other ideas as to why she would still be here. But my gut tells me that it's just a meal that's somewhere here. We just can't see it. Often we, miss out on little subtle signs, but generally a leopard in the same places. It's always a good indication that there's some sort of food item that's nearby. And if that is the case, then I'm glad for her. It's nice that she's got a meal. We haven't seen Kara on a kill. I haven't seen Kara on a kill for a long, long time. The last time I saw her on a kill was when she had that Steenbok close to Sydney's Dam, which was a while ago already. So it'll be good if she's got something here that she can eat. I hear a car that's trying to, I think, come to where we are, so let me just get hold of them.
So it's routine junction with Wilmot Cut Line.
Yeah, sounds like somebody's trying to.
The farm children's got Kara. I'm on the location, but he'll radio you in just a moment.
There we go. So Lauren's dealing with it, which is nice of her.
Maybe it's alright, because you say it's the same apple seen for last.
If he stops talking in the guide, then I can actually speak to him, but very long-winded answers here to each other means that if I just...
I think,
Oh my goodness. I can see the vehicle from here. Yeah, Fan, I can see you. Just come back to Philemon's cut line and you'll see a massive 2-track that comes north into the block. Just follow that track.
Thanks.
There we go. Nice and easy, isn't it? So another vehicle is just going to join us here, which is par for the course. Obviously, it's always nice for people to be able to come and see a leopard. Mandy, not the exact same territory, generally no, but leopards do coexist in portions of their own territory. And remember that also male and female will coexist in the same area. So Mulawati and Tlalamba. But in this section here, there's quite a lot of overlap between our cats. So, Shadulu, Kara, Tlalamba, they all overlap quite little bits on this western side. Then Tlalamba and Sabui overlap. Tandi and Tlalamba overlap. Sabui and Tandi, Kuchava and Tandi. So there's overlapping that does take place. But they typically are not exactly in the same area at the exact same time. And if they are, then that can lead to a bit of conflict. But they don't occupy a territory together and are happy with each other's presence. No, that's not generally what's going to happen. Most of the time they're going to get a little bit frustrated with one another if they start picking up the scent and start seeing each other. That's going to lead to fights. But we'll see. At the moment, the density of leopards is so high here that at some point there's going to be an overlapping and a kind of interaction that's going to take place. All right, we're going to carry on. We'll leave Cara to herself. We'll come back this afternoon. In the meantime, we'll send you across the line to finish things up.
Crossing back to the Wendy.
Yes, Tristan, the density of leopards is incredible. We don't always see them, but they're there. And there's a joke about the Sabi Sands that if you run up to a marula tree and you kick it hard enough, a leopard will fall out. And that's obviously not what we do, and that's obviously not what happens. But the Sabi Sands is particularly dense with leopards. And compare that to maybe a different subspecies of leopard or a different area in South Africa with leopards. It will affect their behavior. So that's why we always talk about things generally, because the leopards here are so densely packed that their territories might not be as big as leopards in a different part of South Africa, for example, because the density is low. So that means they're not clashing into their neighbours. That means they've not got rivals on that territorial boundary, and therefore they can push a little bit further and they can have bigger territories. Both male and female leopards want big territories, but for different reasons. The bigger the territory a male has, the more ladies he can have, the more mating he can do, the more offspring he will have, and then his bloodline will just continue and thrive. A female leopard wants a bigger territory so that she can have better access to resources for her offspring: water, food, den sites, and shelter. And of course, the bigger territory she establishes, the more she can push out other female leopards. Female leopards are a threat to one another. We've even witnessed that here. Shadulu lost one of her cubs, Kara's littermate, to a female leopard who just came along and killed it. And so they do want big territories. It benefits them, but they maybe necessarily can't establish that because there's other leopards everywhere. The density is extremely high here, and it's really interesting. I think Tristan mentioned this yesterday, but we went for drinks with the Panthera crew. It was great to see them, great to have them here, and they did mention they're going to start up the scat analysis again, but in a different way. They're changing their methodology, they're changing what they do in the lab, so they may even start from scratch. They may even reanalyze scat from leopards that they have already analysed in the past. So that is great news. That means that Tristan and I need to put on our marigolds, our rubber gloves, and start collecting feces. And was very excited about that. Anyway, what a drive, everyone. It has, of course, come to the end. Either myself or Tristan will definitely follow up on Tandy this afternoon. I think she is more than safe up that tree. So thank you for jumping on board, for all your comments and questions, and we shall see you this afternoon. Have a great